Hi guys, I am Omkar Sable and I am doing my TYBMS marketing from Nyan Sadna College and our presentation topic is WhatsApp. Now let's start with our first topic, that is Facebook taking over WhatsApp. WhatsApp was made by Brian Acton and Jan Koum. They were the first CEOs of WhatsApp and our new WhatsApp CEO is Mark Zuckerberg. In 2014, at the time Facebook bought WhatsApp for $19 billion, the $4 billion was given in a cash, the $2 billion worth of Facebook shares and the $3 billion in a restricted stock unit. Our second point is active users. At that time, in 2014, WhatsApp had just 450 million monthly active users and 315 million daily active users worldwide, which grew to 2 billion active users till 2020. Our next point is data sharing. The 2016 was an eventful year for the WhatsApp. After making WhatsApp free for its users, WhatsApp implemented end-to-end encryptions in April 2016, which in simple terms means nobody, not even WhatsApp, would be able to read the content of user messages. Our fourth point is function independently. In case you are thinking why WhatsApp founder went ahead with the deal, one of the reasons was that Facebook was to allow WhatsApp to operate independently and pursue its vision. And the last point of this slide is taking full control. The Facebook power grab finally came in the form of a WhatsApp privacy policy update in August 2016, informing users that some of their data would be shared with the parent company Facebook, with WhatsApp having operated independently for 2 years after the Facebook acquisition and with no plans of ads being displayed in a WhatsApp. The privacy updates move was more about Facebook trying to cash in on the acquisition and less about WhatsApp being able to track users' metrics and fight spam. By the way, the only silver lining in this slide was that WhatsApp confirmed end-to-end encryption was still in a place, and neither WhatsApp nor Facebook would be able to see users' messages. Now, let's go with our next slide, that is WhatsApp income. The first point of WhatsApp income is no disclosure. Nobody knows how much revenue exactly WhatsApp generates except Facebook, because the parent company does not share the revenue breakdown of the different products it operates. The second point is average revenue through users. According to Facebook's 2014, in the 9 months prior to September 30, 2014, WhatsApp had generated a revenue of $1.28 million. But that was way back when WhatsApp was charging users $1 per year fee after the first year. The next point is target achieved in mid 2017. In a Jan 2016 post, Forbes has predicted that WhatsApp average revenue per user would be $4 by 2020, which would be the revenue of around $5 billion for Facebook. But the estimation was because they assumed WhatsApp would reach 1.3 billion total monthly users by 2020, which WhatsApp had acquired by midway through 2017. And the last point is increased revenue estimation by Forbes. In November 2017, Forbes has upped the revenue estimates for WhatsApp, ranging from $5 billion to $15 billion, with the average revenue per user ranging from $4 to $12, with WhatsApp earning potential far from being realizing even as of now. The product can be expected to have an increased contribution to its parent company's baseline's revenue in the coming years. Thank you.
My name is Neelam Mahadev Sonar. I am from TYBMS Marketing.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about future plans of WhatsApp. So first one is advertisement. There is no timeline given for when the advertisement on WhatsApp will become possible. What is clear however is that it will begin gradually with the advertisement and sponsored posts being shown in the status feature. Companies have opportunity to build strong engagement with their customers if they use right advertisement. This allows for a much better understanding of the customer needs. Second one is WhatsApp payment. WhatsApp payment has reportedly started rolling out. This launch expected soon in India. New WhatsApp payment option is listed in the app setting, and tapping on it opens a new window where users need to accept terms and conditions just like other UPI based payment apps. This feature integrated within the chat app will surely make payments easier. The third one is multi-device support. It is another feature that people are waiting for. It appears that you will be able to operate into multiple devices. This feature allows you to use the same WhatsApp account on 4 different devices at the same time. Sources also hint that we will be able to see entire chat logs and chat history across devices. Fourth one is running off devices at same time. You will be use you will be able to use WhatsApp and other apps at the same time. This feature comes so handy that it is very easy to manage work and social life. You no need to go back to the other app perhaps you will able to manage at the same time. Fifth is encryption key change. Because of the multiple device, your chat histories will be always sync across platforms. Once you remove a device from the network of linked devices, your encryption key will change and all active chats will notified. Now, I am going to talk about WhatsApp Business. The first one is new version of WhatsApp for business purpose. WhatsApp has officially launched a new app called WhatsApp Business. It's completely separate to the standard version of WhatsApp, but it works in same manner. Only its purpose is connecting business and customers rather than friends and family. This app is aimed at the small owners. Now the second one is allow user to directly inquire Facebook ads to WhatsApp, which means new ad unit combines Facebook with the WhatsApp platform, so we will able to message from Facebook to WhatsApp. The third is auto reply. This type of automated message connects with the customer even during holidays. The customer feels comfortable viewing those auto replies instead of silent responses. It is highly advisable to avoid repetitive auto reply perhaps for all forms of communication. Now the fourth is automation journey. Marketing automation journey is technology that manages marketing process and multiple function campaigns across multiple channels automatically. With marketing automation, business can target customers with automated messages across email, web, social and text.
Hi guys, my name is Mansi Rajendra Saunke and I am doing my TYBMS in marketing from Jnana Sadhana College. So my part of the presentation is features of WhatsApp business, how to run a WhatsApp business and how to set up an WhatsApp business. So let's start with the first one. First one is the feature of WhatsApp business. Features of WhatsApp business are the same as the original WhatsApp, but here the only exception is that it is used for business purposes and to have a business relationship. Features given here are like normal WhatsApp status, messaging, groups, normal broadcast. The only exceptional thing here is that here you can't have any private connections with the people, but you need to grow and maintain only professional relationships and have professional conversations with a customer to grow your business. The second part I'm going to explain here is the running a WhatsApp business account. To run a WhatsApp business account, you need to know basic things such as first one, you need to have a smartphone, and if you have a smartphone, make sure you use a different SIM. The second thing is that WhatsApp only allows a single SIM verification. So to open your WhatsApp business account, you need to have a different number or you can buy a new phone and have a different number in that. The third and the last one is that if you already have your business set up with your private SIMs and you have a conversations going with your customers and you want to change that number to your WhatsApp business account, you need to simply transfer the data of your original accounts to your business account. Then your WhatsApp business account will be opened and you can chat with your customers to your WhatsApp business account. My final part is setting up a WhatsApp business account. After you open your WhatsApp business account, in the settings menu you get a business setting feature. In that you have three options: away messages, greeting messages and quick replies. Away messages. Away messages does not work on group and it can be enabled and disabled whenever you want. Second one, greeting messages. Greeting messages can also be enabled and disabled whenever you want, and for the first timers or the people who message you after 14 days of contacting you gets this message. Quick replies. Quick replies, you can draft a text for a specific keyword which will help you to reply or text your consumers at a fast speed to consume your time and will help you to maintain customer satisfaction and will help you to increase your relationship with your customers.
Hi guys, my name is Ganesh Ankush Pugavkar and I study in TYVMS Marketing.
I am going to explain you the advantages and disadvantages of WhatsApp. So let's get started. In the advantages we have group chat. Use the group chat feature to your team to work together more efficiently, helping cohesive communication with support and marketing team will benefit the customer. Next is brand authenticity. Take advantage of the WhatsApp authority in the marketplace with the adoption of the green ticks, which allows company to work alongside genuine companies, keeping more fraudulent one at bay. We have keep your customer loyal. Using a well-known brand such as WhatsApp can also help to develop the persona of your brand and build a solid reputation with your customer. Next is cross platform. Use traffic analysis to give your marketing and support team great insight. You can even consider dropping your social media strategies as WhatsApp has the capacity to give increased data. Also add your WhatsApp number to your website details to allow easy access to your customer to get in touch. The last is brand promotion. Easy creates offers to the audience by providing them link to your website. Alongside your offer, it's easy to engage your customer with appealing offer. Now let us see the disadvantages. First, it does not provide enterprise data protection. WhatsApp accesses and stores the addresses books of employees which contain confidential corporate and customers data. While the app has announced an improved encryption, currently does not provide enterprise grade encryptions. It's important to understand such a business model required knowledge of your user and is in conflict with minimal use of personal data, general data, redundancy and strong data protection. Second point, WhatsApp is a cloud server based in the USA. Due to the weak data protection laws and the broad surveillance in the USA, cloud server based or hosted in the USA cannot ensure comprehensive data protection required by businesses and their employees and customers. Third, it mixes private and business communications. For enterprise, it is important to separate businesses from private communication. First, a dedicated enterprise messaging apps allow faster access and give a better overview to everything that is relevant for the internal communication and thus increase the productivity. Third, the motivations and satisfactions of employees are improved with the professional messaging tool since people value a separation of private and business communications. Fourth point, it does not support enterprise file sharing solutions. Business often use enterprise grade file sharing solutions like Microsoft, SharePoint, Box, Businesses Connectors, etc., which are not supported by WhatsApp at all. Since file sharing with colleagues and teams is a regular use case, employees should be able to directly share documents from their file sharing solution via the enterprise messaging app. Thus helps to simplify and accelerate workflow. The last is lack of transparency. What most of us seem to have forgotten is the fact that the app was meant to casual conversation. Anyone can create group and anyone can private message anyone. Thank you.